First thing you'd see when you see the suit is you'll say, boy, that's a pretty small suit. I think Hank Snow was only about 5 feet tall. And the second thing you'll say is, how did they fit so many rhinestones on a suit that small? But this is kind of my salute to one of the old timers that have been traveling these highways for a lot longer than we have been. This is for Hank Snow, the Singing Ranger from Brooklyn, Nova Scotia. He sold 80 million albums coming from little Brooklyn, if you can imagine that. But so here's one for Hank Snow and his many fans. When I think of Nova Scotia, down in the Maritime, green Annapolis Valley and the blue Atlantic tide, Digby and Cape Breton and the shores of Peggy's Cove. When I think of Nova Scotia, I think about Hank Snow. He was born down in Brooklyn on the beautiful South Shore, and away it went to sea as a cabin boy. Jimmy Rogers on the radio was the music that he heard. A 12-year-old on a schooner that sailed from Lunenburg. Could really pick the strings on a guitar that he bought from the pages of Tim Eaton's mail order catalog. On stage in his Halifax, 1933, he became the yodeling ranger, and the rest is history. Oh, the people really loved his style, and soon there came the day he made a Bluebird record and he signed with RCA. With his trick horse Shawnee and his young wife Minnie Blanche, they lived down in Tennessee on the famous Rainbow Ranch. Blaze out all his cherish the blue Atlantic skies, where the shores down in Cape Breton bid the golden sun to rise. Fragrance of the apple blossoms kiss the new-kissed dawn down in dear old Nova Scotia, the place where I was born. Scotian and the Ocean Limited and a Maritime Express, their mighty engines throbbing make their way towards the west. Sturdy fishing schooner sways lazily to and fro. Nova Scotia is my sanctuary, and I love her so. Now across this great dominion I had traveled far and wide, where the shores down in Vancouver kiss the blue Pacific tide. Across the snow-capped Rockies I saw the wheat fields golden blaze. Take me back to Nova Scotia, this ocean boy was raised. Where the pretty robin redbreast seeks his young ones in the trees. The French dialect in old Quebec keeps calling out to me. It seems to say, be on your way, there's a welcome at your door, where the kinfolk are waiting on that great Atlantic shore. Beautiful New Brunswick and across the PEI, the rockbound coast of Newfoundland, I'll love them till I die. God came here on earth to find a place place where he could rest, I take him to my Nova Scotia home, the place that I love best. He became one of the biggest stars the world has ever seen. A boy from Queens County named Clarence Eugene. High up on Citadel Hill at noon they fire the gun, and the songs of country music keeps them moving on. When I think of Nova Scotia down in the Maritimes, green Annapolis Valley and the blue Atlantic tide, Digby and Cape Breton and the shores of Peggy's Cove. When I think of Nova Scotia, I think about Hank Snow. When I think of Nova Scotia, I think about Hank Snow. Down the ice, players bump and a goalie jumps and the fans all go insane. Someone roars, Bobby scores at the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, you know this one. Second period. Where players dash with skates that flash, the home team trails behind. They grab the puck and go bursting up and air down across the line. They storm the crease like bumblebees, travel like a burning flame. See them slide the puck inside, she's a 1-1 hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Third period, last game of the playoffs too. It'll take me where those hockey players face off down the rink, and the Stanley Cup is all filled up for the champs who win the drink. The final flick of a hockey stick and a one gigantic scream. The puck is in and the home team wins the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. Oh, the good old hockey game is the best game you can name. And the best game you can name is the good old hockey game. And he shoots, he scores. All right. And remember there was holes in the roof of the arena in New Denver, and they would put buckets and pails out on the ice to catch the drips coming through the roof. And the kids from New Denver, they weren't very good hockey players. Hope there's no one from New Denver here this evening. But they had a real home ice advantage because they knew where the buckets were. But it was my mom that drove me to the games in those days, tied my skates and all that. And so here's a song dedicated to my mom. And the truth is, if you didn't have hockey moms, you wouldn't even have an NHL. So this is for all Canadian hockey moms. When I was young, I do recall, I'd go to school in the early fall. But on the days when there was no school, I learned to play by a different rule. Get out of bed, you sleepyhead, my hockey mom would say. Grab your skates and don't be late, there's a hockey game today. My old dad was feeling bad because he couldn't come. He had to go to work, and so I took my orders from my hockey mom. And then we drove to the rink in town, and I'd hit that ice by falling down, and then I'd score for the other team. You could hear my mom stand up and scream, Get off that ice, I told you twice to skate the other way. And every year she bent my ear until I learned to play. And when my stick got pretty quick and a puck to me would come, each time I'd score I knew for sure where the loudest cheer was from. My hockey mom. And then one day a stranger came from far away, and he took my name, and very soon for the NHL I came to play. Mom came to yell, get on that puck and stir things up, show some winning pride. And every time she'd say that line, I'd shoot that puck inside. And here's my dad, all Mr. Glad, he knew this day would come. We're all lined up for the Stanley Cup, and the tears are rolling from my hockey mom. My hockey mom, she's number one. My hockey mom, my hockey mom, she is the bomb. My hockey mom.